another full night of action here at the Red Bluff Outlaws for points race number 6. And probably a little bit less than ideal conditions again to be racing in. Luckily, we have some blue sky right now, but all morning long it has just been dumping here, extremely windy, and it's just like one of those situations where you don't even want to get your car out of the trailer. But that's Winter Outlaw Kart racing, and that's what you sign up for. So excited to get after it here today. Going to be racing again with the Factory QRC crew. Our night is about to get started with qualifying, but first I want to head inside and show you guys the track. Well, we're going to be getting it all started here shortly. I feel great about getting on track. I'm really hoping to be parked in victory lane at the end of the night. I feel like I need to get a win here at Red Bluff. We won earlier in the season, but we haven't had the chance yet to really dominate and get out front and just lead a bunch of laps. I feel like if we can qualify good and get through our heat race today, that could be this could be our night. So we're going to get it all started. Here's kind of one last look at the Red Bluff Outlaws racing service that we'll be running on today for points race number 6. Bringing some of last weekend's chaos into tonight. Just blew up in qualifying, but luckily we still got a good time before that took place. So we're third quick out of 35 opens, and I got a couple of extra laps because one of the other cars out there with us stopped. So they basically let us reset our session after we did 2 laps. And then going down the backstretch, coming to the checkered, I heard a noise, and then all of a sudden the rear tires locked up, and I half spun and luckily was able to keep it out of the fence. So we're putting another bullet on right now. Big thanks to my QRC guys. No matter what the chaos is, they jump in with all hands on deck. So we're third quick. We're going to be starting second row outside in our heat race, and they're going to be taking the top 2 directly to tonight's A. We'll check off the next box on the list today here at Red Bluff. Was able to go from 4th to 2nd in our heat race and lock directly into tonight's Open A main event. 30 laps coming up later on. Now we have a couple hours to kind of chill out. Things got really gnarly there. Switched engines, went out, quickly got into 2nd, had a yellow, and at one point it looked like I was maybe gonna get to the lead. The car in front of me was kind of switching lanes back and forth. I was trying to go where they weren't, and at one point, coming to the white flag, I even fell back to 3rd, put a nice crossover on the shark, Sean Becker, and then we raced side by side the last lap, coming to the checkered flag, and luckily came home 2nd. So the whole thing was nuts. I thought I was safe, and then all of a sudden I was just like, drag racing to the finish line, about to lose the transfer position, but luckily we pulled through, and now we're gonna have a top 6 redraw up next, which we will redraw, pull a pill, see where we start. At best we could be on the pole, worst we could start as 6th, have a dash, and then we'll have the A main event after that, and that will determine the first 3 rows for that lineup.
The number 5 for Landon Brooks. The next driver to draw will be Tanner Holmes. driver of the 18T. It's going to be Bristol Tartar doing the honors for him. The number 3. So Tanner Holmes will start on the inside of row number 2. The next third, so not too bad. Was kind of hoping maybe to make some progress and get to the front row. It'd be nice to get out front and just kind of, deal with open racetrack and try to command and lead the race, but I feel good about where we're at. That dash was super valuable because I felt like our car was okay, and then once I made some laps around the bottom, it felt really good, but there was room for improvement, and the fact that we got to see that, and now I think with the direction we're heading, it should just be a much smoother ride. Right now the racetrack is a little bit rough in certain areas, and it's tough to get through the corners and to do it smoothly, so we're trying to make the race car better in that area for the high side, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see us down low, me specifically, because it just seems like I make good power down there, and if I can hit my marks, I get around the lower side of the racetrack better than most of the field. So A-main event's going to be up next, 30 laps. We're going to be rolling off from row number 2. Be nice to get out front, hang out up there, make things happen, wait for opportunity, and ultimately strike when we need.
Remember everything? Okay, have fun. Keep yourself out of trouble.
out of the race car, Tanner Holmes, race fans, out of Jacksonville, Oregon, getting the hug from Jimmy Elledge. Tanner Holmes, my goodness. Last Sunday, you guys had an excellent run from P16 to second, but it seemed like you were a little disappointed because you knew that you were going to win that race tonight. You redeemed yourself with your second win of the season, but it was work. It was a hard run race.
Yeah, it was a crazy race. You know, it's tough when you're, you know, I think I was possibly the best car, but I just never got a chance to get out front and start making laps and get away from people. You know, maybe we could have been a tiny bit better, and it's just tough. You know, you see Braden got by me there, McLean got by me, Colby got by me. You're like, shoot, feel like you're just kind of a sit and duck out front. But I felt like once I kind of changed up my line, I don't think I was going to maybe dominate the race or be too lights out, but you know, just good enough to kind of stay ahead and run a smart show with what I got. So Jimmy gives me a great hot rod, and we had some chaos tonight, switched engines, had to throw some stuff at the car, but good enough to get out front and go.
With all those yellows and stoppages happening, were you liking some of those to happen to give you a chance possibly mentally regroup or at least deal with an open racetrack?
For me, I would have rather just went 30 laps green. You know, I know this car can do it, I can do it. It just, like I said, it's tough even when it's single file, you know, because there's a big hole down here in 1 and 2. I couldn't get through it great, but when I got on my own, I could. And same with 3 and 4. But it's just, it's difficult when you're constantly being pressured by McLean and Caldwell. Those guys are really good. And I just wanted to make sure I stayed ahead of him. You know, Jesse's kind of been on us here for the last couple races, so we kind of needed to make sure that didn't get to 4.
Well, here after points race number 6, we are sending some hardware back to the shop. What a dogfight it was here during the 30-lap open feature. Just had to run as hard as I could and do my job. You know, sometimes as a racer, you're not always a dominant car. At the beginning of the video, I said I wanted to dominate tonight if we could. I think we got out front, and once we got going, that was us. But it took a couple of laps to get there. So probably 3 laps into a run, I was always defending on restarts, whether that was running the bottom down here, running the bottom down there, throwing a slide job or 2, or just trying to change up what I was doing to try to throw the cars off behind me. And anytime you have to work that hard for a win, it really feels good when you can park it in victory lane. So mark that down as our second on the season. I did want to show you though the hole that was developing all night down here in turn 2, which made it so tough to run the top on restarts. It's not gonna look that bad, but right here, there's like a dip, and if your right rear got in it, you pretty much didn't stop bouncing for the rest of the corner, and if anyone was underneath you, they were gonna take your position away. So made that mistake once or twice, and then once I saw that, I always started running the bottom and defending on those restarts, and I think that was one of the big keys to our success. So big thanks to Jimmy Elledge, Factory QRC, Durst Incorporated, Jet Performance Labs, Burst Racing Tire, Adams Investing, all my great fans and everyone that supports us. We've had so much chaos here for the first half of the season, but now we're at 2 wins, some pretty solid stats, and we're trying to climb our way back out of the little hole we were in points. So very thankful for everyone that's behind me and you know, making my job easy and getting to drive race cars here in the wintertime to keep me busy. So see you guys all in the next one, and that will be next weekend for points race number 7 back here at the Red Bluff Outlaws. Deuces.